Happy Friday the 13th, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday the 13th. You know, it's the day where everybody gets so afraid about all the bad luck that's going to happen, which I find kind of odd. And it's obviously all superstition, but it is what it is. But today is also day 13 of the Halloween movie review series. And today, I'm actually going to be reviewing something different. Today I'm going to be reviewing Happy Death Day. This is the movie that just came out tonight. It came out, and if you're wondering what it is, it's October 13th, 2017. And, yeah, I remember I had planned on seeing this movie for months. What I wanted this Halloween movie review series was I wanted it to have a couple of movies where I actually had to go out in theaters to see the movie. Because seeing a movie in theaters is obviously different than watching it at home. You can fast forward stuff at home. And obviously you're watching it around a crowd of people. You get to kind of know what their reaction is to everything that happens. So I think that's kind of, rewarding a bit. Obviously, it's more fun. You get to watch it on a bigger screen. And I think it's kind of cool going to see movies. The last time I saw a movie, I believe, was Get Out. That's the last movie I actually went in theaters and saw. I don't remember exactly. I think that was the last one I went and saw. So I found it kind of funny. And I had planned on going to see this movie for months. So, let me just get right into it. I'm going to get right into the review. This movie was directed by Christopher B. Landon. Ironically enough, this movie actually originally was supposed to come out in 2007. They were originally going to have, it was originally going to be the same thing, except instead it was going to be called Half to Death, and it was originally going to star Megan Fox. Megan Fox. Sorry, I had it right. I was going to say Mackenzie Fox, but originally it was going to star Megan Fox, and it doesn't necessarily. And it was also going to be directed by Michael Bay. And now it doesn't necessarily say why. I looked all over the place, and I went to one. I saw this movie with one of my friends when I was looking this up, and it didn't exactly say why the movie didn't come out in 2007. It was originally supposed to be released in July of 2007. So it was supposed to be released a little over 10 years ago. And, I don't exactly know what happened. I kind of looked this up. Around 2007, Mackenzie Fox kind of started to fade away as an actor. And maybe that had something to do with it, because I heard originally she turned down this role, and then obviously she faded away shortly afterwards. But I don't exactly know what led to the movie not being them not running with this movie. So it got put on hold for a while, and then on October 11th, 2016, so literally a year ago, 2 days ago, a year and 2 days ago, Blumhouse Productions announced that Jessica Roth, they were gonna revamp this project, and Jessica Roth was gonna play the lead role in the film, and that Christopher B. Landon was gonna be doing the filming and directing. The writing and the directing, I should say. And Jason Blum was going to be producing the movie through Blumhouse Productions. And on November 8th, 2016, it was announced that Ruby Moat, Moulin, Charles Atkin, and Rachel Matthews were going to join the cast with Jessica Roth and Israel Brazard. And obviously too, I remember going back, and I don't remember exactly how I saw this trailer. I might have been something I just clicked towards, and I was just clicking on videos and stuff. But I remember seeing this trailer, and I was pretty hyped about it. It seemed kind of like something different. This story, I mean, it really wasn't anything different. They've done the Groundhog Day thing before, but not in the way that they have gone about it, where the person keeps dying and they have to keep coming back each time. So overall, I thought that was interesting. And this movie, so I actually went through everything of who produced it, wrote it, and directed it and stuff, because I just read it. It was distributed by Universal Pictures, and this movie had a $4.8 million budget. Now, as for box office draws, since the movie is still early of coming out, still just coming out, I can't really exactly say what the box office was, so I'm just gonna go based off where the people that were in my theater when I saw it. And when I saw this movie, it seemed like it did pretty well in my eyes. The theater was packed. Everybody seemed into the movie. They reacted at the parts that they should have reacted to. So overall, I thought the movie, at least when I saw it, was a success. I had heard that it had been a success all day. Now, obviously, I had heard some mixed reviews on this movie. Some people liked it. Some people hated it. I heard originally when they, before it was being released, they were people kind of were hating on it. And then I've also heard other people liking it. So it kind of put me on the fence about how I was going to feel about this movie. And coming out of this movie, I will get to that. I felt like the movie delivered, but I was a little bit let down. I would say I have a mixed feeling about it myself, but I'm going to start talking about it. So let me start talking about the movie itself. So the movie actually opens up. They do the whole Universal Picture opening, and I actually like how they did this. They kept showing it again and again and again to kind of really nail it at home that this was going to be a Groundhog Day movie, and I thought that was actually kind of funny. And then the movie opens up immediately. We see this girl. She wakes up in a dorm room, and pretty much we find out that she pretty much had got drunk, and we're supposed to have thought that she had sex with this guy. Now, this is the part of the video. I always mean to say this. If you don't want to be spoiled about anything else, don't because really this isn't anything of a spoiler. Don't watch the rest of the video, because I know people are gonna hate on me that I'm spoiling the video. But just don't watch the rest of the video if you don't want to be spoiled, because there's gonna be spoilers in this video. So it opens up. We find out her name is Tree Gleveman. I think that's how you say her last name. I'm just gonna call her Tree. And she wakes up, and she finds out she's in a dorm room, and she finds out that she's in there with Carter Davis, who is apparently she got really drunk because today's actually her birthday, and I'm assuming what happened is she was celebrating her birthday, and she was doing a lot of celebrating, and she had a lot of alcohol. So we're supposed to have thought that these two slept together. Tree asks for some aspirin because she has a headache, because she's got a terrible hangover. And then his friend comes in, his roommate, and asks if he banged that good-looking vagina. I don't exactly know the exact quote, but that was pretty much what happens. Then she leaves, and she walks out of the dorm. She sees a guy who just is trying to look all cool. She gets asked by a protester if she wants to end to sign a petition. If she wants to sign a petition to end global warming. She gets asked if she sees the football team sitting, and one of the guy who is just massively exhausted just collapses. The sprinklers turn onto a couple who's studying, and then a car alarm goes off. I mention this stuff because this kind of becomes important throughout the movie. Then she meets this guy, and then she runs into this guy. I'm trying to find his name. I don't remember his name. I believe I don't want to say this is his name. I believe his name is Tim. And this was a guy that she'd gone out on a date with, and you know, he's wondering why she hasn't answered any of his texts. And Twee's like, yeah, you took me out onto a date at Subway, and there really wasn't much of a date. You weren't really trying to impress me. And she tells him that that's not the only footlong that let her down. And we pretty much find out that this person's an absolute bitch. Her father keeps calling a ton of times, and she never picks up because they were supposed to go out to eat for a birthday. And you know, there's this person that's right in front of her sorority when she tries to wave at her. Twee ain't having that. Danielle, one of her sorority sisters, you know, asks her if she's you know, pretty much asks her where she's been and how she finally showed up, and and she pretty much rudely asks her if she got together with a guy, and she doesn't really give much of a response. And then she tells him that there's a sorority meeting today. Then she goes into a room and she sees Lori. Lori's trying to be nice to her. Apparently she embarrassed herself. She find out she threw up, kissed one of Danielle's crushes, which I'm assuming was the guy Coder, and then yeah, and also and was dancing on the bar table. And then you know, Rachel finds out she's late. Twee finds out she's late to class. Then Lori goes to give her a cupcake for her birthday, and she found out because of a driver's license. And then you know, Twee doesn't really want the cupcake because she doesn't really like to celebrate her birthday. We find out more about that on that why later. Then she goes to class, and the professor continues talking and going on with his lecture. The next scene was the sorority girls are having a meeting, and pretty much they don't really want to eat sweets. They don't like to have sweets. So Danielle bashes Becky, one of the sorority members, for drinking chocolate milk, and she gets up because she's all upset. Nick knocks Carter knocks Becky's tray right onto Twee, and we find out that Twee had left one of her necklaces in his room, so she takes it back. And we also find out that Twee is dating the professor. We find out his name is Professor Butler. He's a doctor, and we find out that they're dating. And then his wife comes in, and they have to pretend they're not doing anything. So we pretty much find out that she's been a bitch. And then then they're gonna go. The sorority girls are gonna have a party. We were, I think, supposed to have thought that it was Twee's party, and it was, but we didn't necessarily know that it was going to be a surprise party. So she's going to the party, and a bunch of football jockeys and stuff surrounding her, and we see a guy, and he has like a mask on it's like a baby mask with one tooth hanging out. And then when she's walking through the place, and she's walking through this like abandoned road, and there's a box, like a music box that plays Happy Birthday. And then the guy pops out. Twee acts like she's not scared, and then she starts running away, and the guy comes up and kills her. But then she wakes up the next day, and she's repeating the same day. It's Groundhog Day. She does the exact same thing, and she kind of starts to notice that something's weird. I know a lot of the same situations start to happen. They pretty much the day pretty much goes into a cycle, except she could kind of one up, but she doesn't really notice. She just thinks that she just had a bad dream. Then she kind of starts to notice something's wrong when she goes up when she sees the music box again, and this time she doesn't fall for it. Then she goes to a sorority, and she starts getting scared, and the same guy with the mask pops out right through right in the room, and we found it was a surprise party, but because she had been killed by this guy before, or we don't know who he is, it's a mystery person, she punches him in the face, and we find out that it was actually it was actually like a college guy, and they offer to go have sex together, and Tree goes up to his room, and when she turns around, she sees the guy again with the mask, and we find out that it was actually the same guy, and he tries to wow her, and she's not impressed, and Danielle's upset with her that she's pretty much acting like a slut, and I think this was a guy that Danielle actually liked, and she wasn't happy what she was doing, so they were texting back and forth, and because there's so much music, because he has this room set up where he has music and lights going off, the mystery person comes up and murders I forget his name, but this guy, the guy that she was gonna have sex with, and when she turns around, she thinks that it's the same guy, but then when she sees his dead body, Tree does the best she can to fight him off. A drunk guy comes in, and because he's drunk, he has no clue what's going on. So this guy had a bond, and the mystery person takes a bond and stabs Tree, and then Tree starts to relive the same day again. She starts to get horrified about it. She tries to tell Lori about it. Lori just thinks she's kind of going crazy, thinks that she's just is hungover, and tells her to sleep for the night. So then Tree tries to barricade her room, and she boards up the windows. She does everything she can, and throughout this time the lights keep popping off and on. That was another thing that was like a Groundhog Day type of moment. And then she was watching TV, and she can't find the remote, and she was watching old videos of her mom. She was watching videos of her and her mom blowing out birthday candles throughout this time, and this kind of becomes important later on in the movie. Her dad continues to call over and over again, and then she can't find the remote, and the TV goes out, and obviously she knows that somebody took it, and then she finds a birthday code that says happy birthday, and today will be your last day or something like that. So then she starts looking around the room, and then the mystery person finds her and kills her again. I believe the person just stabbed her, but I don't remember exactly how that happened. And then she wakes up again the next day, and she starts to get horrified again when she starts to get horrified again when we're living the same day. Nick thinks that she has gone crazy, and not Nick, sorry, I keep wanting to call him Nick, because I think that's his acting name. That's like his real name. It's actually not even his real name. I don't even know where I got that name from then. But Carter wants to know what's going on, so they go to a restaurant, and she tells them what happened. And Carter thinks that this could mean something, that this could mean that you have a special day. And she says that, she doesn't really like to celebrate her birthday. She doesn't like to talk about it, but she has this ringtone that says that it's my birthday every time somebody calls her. And then Nick says, well, that's your birthday. So pretty much what he gives an idea is she assumes that she has unlimited lives. She'll just keep coming back again and again to go through a list of suspects that would want to kill her, and until you find out the right person. So then she comes up with it. She likes the idea, and and they go through a montage, and she makes a suspect list of people that could possibly be killing her. She thinks that it's Danielle, and Danielle has the same code that she got earlier in the movie, and they start getting into a fight. Then she gets hit with a bus. She thinks that it's Tim since she didn't return his text. Then we find out Tim's actually gay too, because he was watching gay porn, and then she gets killed. And then the mystery person stabs her through the gut, and then she just pretty much doesn't really care. So she streaks in the school, which was kind of weird because it's not really something you would do in a horror movie. They were trying to kind of make it funny and really shouldn't have been funny. All these scenes I didn't really mind, but in a horror movie, I don't think they should be doing this type of stuff. And then she tries to see if it's Becky, and she hits when she thinks Becky's coming over, she tries to hit Becky with a baseball bat, which she succeeds. But then we find out she's actually not the mystery person, and the mystery person hits her with the baseball bat, and she, I guess, died from it. So yeah. Then when she wakes up the next day, she tells Carter that he has a shitty plan. And what happens next? There was something that happened next. I know, I can't remember like the exact same scenes. Then she goes back to the sorority, and pretty much she knows what everybody's gonna say. I remember she gets killed again somehow, but I don't remember exactly how it happens. I remember there's she actually freaks out and has to go to the hospital, and then yeah, pretty much we find out that she's actually starting to lose lives, and she only has a certain amount of times, I guess, where she can't come back, we're supposed to think. And you know, she wants to get out of the hospital, and Dr. Butler tries to stop her. She goes, and she tricks him by having him go get her a soda. Twee escapes, and she finds the mask in Dr. Butler's desk, so she thinks he's the killer. And then we were supposed to have thought that the killer comes and kills Dr. Butler, and Twee starts running away from the mystery killer, and the mystery killer chases her around the parking lot, and then she tries to escape by getting into a car, and she's all happy that she finally survived, and then she gets pulled over. So then the police, says that, if she's been, she tells the police what's going on. The police think that she's under the influence, so she's just going to get herself arrested and get herself locked up, so that way this person won't come kill her. And the person places her under arrest, and of course, right when she gets handcuffed and into the police car, the mystery killer hits the policeman with the car, and then lights the gasoline was pouring out of the car, the police car, and she lights a match, and the car explodes. And I thought that looked like a great scene. And then she tells Carter that he's having a shitty plan, and pretty much Carter tries to help her again. This time her and Carter start to have more of a relationship, and we start to find out more stuff about Carter. She does some goofy stuff. She just pretty much doesn't care anymore, so she starts getting more gassy. Then she says that she doesn't like to celebrate her birthday because her mom has the same birthday, and her mom had passed away, which we pretty much had assumed, kind of already knew. It just was kind of one of those moments where the movie doesn't tell you what happens, but it did happen. And she doesn't like to get close to her father because it reminds her of that day. And then Carter talks about how you can't always change what you've done in the past, but you can change what you could change your future, because she talks about how she's been an absolute piece of shit of a human being. And then the news comes on, and we see that we see that a guy from the hospital, Joseph Toombs, has escaped from the hospital. We had seen this earlier in the news, and at first I kind of was thinking maybe this is gonna go somewhere. Maybe he's the killer, and then I kind of fully knew it once this happened. So then we find out that he's the killer, and when she goes to the hospital, he's escaped, and they get into a fight, and he attacks her. It didn't really tell us why why he was doing this, but they start fighting, and Twee is about to kill him with a pipe, but Carter had tried to come in and save her, and he broke his neck and killed him, and she realizes that if she kills him, then Carter won't be able to come back, and then so she hangs herself so that way she will come back and she hangs herself so that way she will Carter to save Carter's life pretty much, and then she wakes up the next day and she really starts to change as a person, because throughout this stage you could start to see her change more so as a character, and she does things like when she gets asked about global warming, she actually signs it. She actually waves to the person in the headphones. She defends Becky by eating fat food and dumping chocolate milk on Danielle. She actually accepts the birthday cupcake that Lori had made for her, and she also, likes Carter a lot more. She actually goes and visits her father and tells him that the reason that she's been avoiding him all these years is because she thought it would be easier, and she thought that she would actually be happier. She actually leaves Professor Butler, and pretty much tells him how it is and drops his class and flips him off, which I thought was funny. And then she gets ready to kill Joseph Toombs, and Joseph Toombs is getting ready to escape. She's about to shoot him, but then she finds out that the gun is locked, and the gun's on safety, and so they get into a fight, and then she finally kills Joseph Toombs, and we have this big moment where she's finally survived, and she finally makes a wish on her cupcake, and she wishes for tomorrow again. And she blows out the candle. The screen goes black, and we think that the movie's going to be over. And then she wakes up, and she finds out that it was the same day. And she gets creeped out about this. She doesn't know why she's living the same day. And then she starts freaking out. She's about to pack her stuff and just escape. Lori's asking her why she's doing this. And then she pulls out the cupcake and tells her happy birthday, and Twee figures out that that it was Lori all along, when she had poisoned the cupcake, and when she ate it she died, and that caused her to come back again. That's why she's stuck in that Groundhog Day, and she used Joseph Toombs as a cover-up and drugged him and made so that way she wouldn't suspect that it was her. So then Lori doesn't admit it, so then Twee tries to force Lori to eat the cupcake. She refuses, and they get into a fight. Lori kicks her ass pretty much, and Lori wonders how she figured it out, and she says that she did it because she wanted Dr. Butler to actually date her, and because he's a dumb bitch. It was really kind of a stupid reason. It was just stupid. It was all over a guy. It was dumb. So then they attack each other. Twee shoves the cupcake down Lori's mouth, and then she goes off like the chandelier and kicks Lori down out the window. And pretty much then everyone finds out it's been planned, and they find out about everything, and she's finally free of this. Carter offers her to come stay with her, and her dad calls, and she's happy to see that she's okay. And the best part about the whole thing is at the end, Carter references that this has happened in another movie called Groundhog Day, like back in the 80s. He brings up the actor from Ghostbusters, and she's never heard of it before. I thought that was actually a nice touch. I thought that was actually kind of funny and a nice reference right there. And then the movie ends when Twee wakes up again, and we think that she's lived the same day because she wakes up and her phone rings playing Happy Birthday, so she gets freaked out, and Carter reveals that she was just tricking her, and then they kiss and make up, and then that was the end of the movie. Overall, this movie, I did think the movie was good. I liked the movie. I did think it had some corny stuff in it, like the whole relationship thing that they tried to tell with her and her father. It was good, but I thought it was a bit corny, and I thought that it didn't fit this movie of what it should have been. I thought this movie, for a whole movie, had a lot of funny, hokey, and corny stuff in it. Like the stuff when she was streaking naked, the stuff when her folding and stuff. I thought that was just very corny, and it just really wasn't necessary. The thing that they did wrong, I thought too, was they didn't really explain. This is kind of like the biggest pet peeve I have about this movie is they don't really explain why Twee keeps having Groundhog Day. They never really told us that. I guess we were supposed to have thought that it was because of her birthday she got these second chances to live, but they didn't really go into detail much about that. But I guess they tried to make it seem that way. And then obviously, when you watch the movie, I assumed when I was watching this, and I think this should have been the direction they should have went, is that the killer actually knew she was living Groundhog Day, and that it actually would have made sense. But when Lori revealed that she's the killer, she doesn't actually know that she's in Groundhog Day. But it doesn't make any sense that she wouldn't know, because she always killed her a different way every time. Now, technically, there's always an out, I guess, because technically you could say, well, she stayed in her room, but it was always a different way every time that she killed her. Whether it was, the first kill where she was killed just before the party happened, at the party, in the hospital, well, not in the hospital, but in the car, and then she was killed by getting hit with a bus. But Lori had no idea that she was going through a Groundhog Day. That didn't really make any sense. So I didn't really care much for that part of the movie. But I thought the movie overall had a good story. I liked seeing the character change of Terry, of Twee, as the movie went along. How she, became a better person. Because in the beginning of the movie, she was pretty much a bitch, and then obviously I like how at the end she starts to change more as a character. She starts to become a nicer person. Obviously I actually didn't mind too much the relationship they told between Carter and Twee. I thought that was nice. I didn't really but there was some characters I didn't really care for this movie. Like Danielle wasn't that great of a character. She was a bitch. Becky wasn't that bad of a character, but she wasn't in it all that much. Dr. Gordy, I actually liked his role in the movie. I thought he had a good role. It just kind of, I actually thought the wife was going to be the killer because she was the one that was sleeping with him. And that's also another, is the reason that Lori wanted to kill Twee was stupid. She wanted to kill him just because she was sleeping with Dr. Butler. It was really stupid, and it was just dumb. It was like they didn't really come up with a reason. It should have been something else, like that she was a crappy roommate or something. That would have made sense, but it didn't really make any sense. And then but yeah, I liked some of the kills in this movie. I also liked Kind of like like I said, the story. Her trying to go through her list of victims and the character change of Tree. I thought they did that pretty well. So overall, if I had to rate the movie, I thought the movie was good. I didn't think it was anything like fantastic or anything, but I thought it was good. I did kind of feel a little bit let down because I thought this movie could have been so much more than what it was, and it really wasn't. But I thought the movie overall was good. Oh, and I especially loved like some of the jokes that they made in this movie, and I think that's what I kind of hated this movie. Is this movie was supposed to be like a thriller horror movie, but it had a lot of comedy stuff in it. And sometimes it's okay to have comedy in horror movies, but in that case it wasn't. But but the best line of the whole movie was when Carter referenced Groundhog Day, and Twee had no idea what she was talking about. That was awesome. I love that part. And yeah, I can't really say like what the critics actually rated this movie because that hasn't been revealed yet. So, but if I had to say, I think this movie, like I said, was good. If I had to rate it, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good movie. But yeah, it definitely had a lot of corny and hokey stuff in it and too much comedy, I think. I think it was supposed to be a horror movie, but it had a lot of comedy stuff in it. So now that I've done that, let me go through the cast of this movie. So we had Jessica Rose playing Twee Gilman. Israel Browser played Carter Davis. Ruby Moden played Laurie Spengler. Charles Atkin played Gregory Butler. Laura Clifton played Stephanie Butler. That was Gregory's wife. Jason Bale played David Gilman. That was Twee's father. Rob Mello played Joseph Toombs. Rachel Matthews played Danielle Bousman. Ramsey Anderson played Keith Lumley. I legit have no idea who that was. I don't remember who he was. Brady Lewis played Frat Brother. He was one of the Frat Brothers that was played. Fee Vu played Ryan Fain. And Ryan was the guy that kept coming in and making that joke about Twee again, and again. I think that's also kind of what hurt the movie was a lot of the scenes were repeated. Like that joke they beat into a dead horse. They kept doing it again and again and again. I get it was like a Groundhog Day type of movie, but I think it's like they tried to get that joke out any way they could. I thought, and that kind of ruins a joke when you do a joke again and again and again. And then Tina Intrigo played a student protester. This is the student that kept asking for global warming. And Belaine Kern III played Nick Sims. I don't remember who he is. Carella Smith played Becky Shepard. Jimmy Gonzalez played the police officer. This is the police officer that Toombs attacks to escape from the hospital. Billy Slaughter played Dr. Winter. I don't even remember him in this movie at all. And Donna Duplanter played Nurse Deanna. This is the nurse that in the movie Twee tries to go warn the nurse that Toombs is going to escape, and Toombs actually shoots her and kills her in this movie. And G.I. Erntia plays the reporter. This is the reporter that says that Toombs escaped. Lindsay G. Smith played the waitress as Lindsay Smith, actually. And Missy Wagger played Twee's mom. And then the rest were kind of just extra characters. Yeah, overall, that's about it. So that's it. I'm pretty much going to end this review. So like I said, overall, this movie gets a 7 out of 10. And I have a few plugs I want to make. Make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so that way people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video on this channel, you guys will get the notification for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers YouTube channel. And make sure, I have been asked to do the shout out, and I want to make sure that I do this. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel, Mike Sell, and he wanted me to give his brother-in-law a shout out. His name is Ben Medland, I believe is how you say his name. They are fans of mine, and he asked me on Snapchat to give him a shout out, so I did just that. So you got your shout out. Check out Mike Sell's YouTube channel. Mike Sell commented actually on my Halloween 5 review, and he asked me to do a couple of movie. I believe he did it on 3 too. He wanted me to do a few movie reviews, and he pitched ideas to do for the Halloween movie review series that I actually will now be doing, and possibly be putting onto my Movie Monday review series, which you guys should check out. So, but that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Talk to you later.